Okay, so I just wanted to show you how you can cut out your fabric because this is probably the trickiest part of making our pillowcases. I'm going to pretend here with these pieces of paper so that it's smaller and easier for you to see. This white piece here is going to be the piece of fabric that was 1/3 yard. It's going to be my border edge piece for my pillowcase. And this piece right here is going to be the body piece for my pillowcase that is 3/4 yard. So what we need to do for the border piece, it needs to be 10.5 inches wide, which means the shorter size, by 40.5 inches long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, and on your real fabric, 10.5 inches would be all the way 10 and then a half, this half mark right here. That's how wide your fabric really should be. But I'm just going to pretend here with a smaller amount, and I'm just going to say I'd measured 10.5, and so I'm going to mark it. And don't worry about getting a marker on your fabric because this will get sewn in and it won't show at all. So I'm going to mark it here at the edge of my fabric, and I'm going to fold my fabric in half, and probably the ends aren't going to match up perfectly straight, but just have this fold be nice and even, and you can smooth it out. And I'm going to fold it in half again, and the reason is so that I don't have to cut this long line that's 40 inches long. So I'm going to measure to here. I'm doing 5 centimeters, but you're going to do 10.5 inches. So 5 centimeters here. Then I'm going to measure over here and pretend that I'm doing 10.5 inches. And I'm going to mark it again right here. So I've got my 2 marks on my piece of fabric that I've folded in half, and I folded in half again. And it's not quite even, but that's okay because we're going to even it out. Then you're going to take your straight edge ruler, and you're going to put it up against these 2 lines so that you can draw a straight line between the 2 ends. That way we know from here to here it's going to be 10.5 inches across evenly and exactly. Then I'm going to take my fabric scissors and I'm going to cut through all the layers of fabric a straight line along that piece. And when I unfold this, I'm going to have 10.5 inches exactly, and it's going to be a really nice straight line for me.
I'm bored.
Okay, tell me when you go. Just try to keep it on the counter, not on the floor. Okay? Try to keep it just the counter. Okay.
It's already started.
Oh, stop. Okay, so now we've cut our fabric, so it's 10.5 inches wide, but our fabric's too long. It needs to be 40.5 inches long. So to make that easier to cut, I'm going to fold my fabric in half again, right here, and I'm going to measure 20.5 inches long. If you need to get a longer ruler or even a tape measure for this, you can go ahead and do that. But for this purpose, we're going to pretend that 20.5 inches long is going to be 5 inches. But you're going to do 20, sorry, it's not 20.5, it'll be 20 1/4 because 20 1/4 plus 20 1/4 is going to be 40.5. And so right here, if you're looking at the spaces on the ruler, right here is 9 inches, this is 9 1/4, 9 1/2, 9 3/4, and then up to 10. So when you get to 20, you're going to go to this line right here that's 1/4. Okay, so we're going to measure 20 1/4, and you're going to make your mark on this side of the fabric, and you're going to make your mark on this side of the fabric, and you do the same thing. You're going to put your straight edge against those 2 dots, and you're going to draw a straight line. Then we're going to take our fabric scissors, and we're going to cut along this line right here. So now our fabric is exactly 10.5 inches wide right here, the short edge, by 40.5 inches long. So we've just cut our border piece. Now let's pretend this is our body piece here. Our body piece, we want it to be 26.5 inches wide. So in order to do that, we're just going to do the same thing that we did with the border piece. We're going to fold it in half, our fabric. We're going to fold it in half again. And we're going to measure over 26.5 inches this way. And we're going to measure over 26.5 inches this way. So pretend that my ruler is really saying 26.5 instead of 3. Then we're going to put up this straight edge against these two lines. Draw a line. We're going to use our fabric scissors here to cut a straight edge. So now it's 26.5 inches wide, and we need the body to be 40.5 inches long as well. So we're going to fold it in half again. We're going to set it up this way, and we're going to measure 20.25 inches because it's in half now. So 20.25 inches to here, and then 20.25 inches to here, and then we're going to use our straight edge and just draw right on top of your fabric all the way across, and then you're just going to cut through the 2 layers of fabric at the same time. So that's it. That's all you do. If you have a piece of fabric that's really big, like say I needed to cut a border out of this and it's really big, something that's an easier trick to do is to just kind of measure down. Since we need to do 10.5 inches, maybe measure down 12 inches so you've got a little bit of space for air, and just cut out a smaller piece of your fabric so that it's easier to fold it in half and fold it in half again, and then be able to measure your 10.5 inches this way and your 10.5 inches this way. Draw your straight edge between the two, and then you'll just cut down the line on it right there. Sorry, my line got a little crooked. Just like that, and then you'll have the same size piece. Hope that helps you guys get your pillowcases cut out.